Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, everybody. How are you doing on this amazing sunny day? How are you guys doing? Well, we have a sunny day here. I don't know what the weather looks like around where you guys are. Let me know in the chat. Let's see who's in the building. Good morning, Kelly. Welcome back. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Beautiful, always blessed. That's right. Good morning, Crystal. Good morning, Naomi. Alive and blessed. Yes, Crystal's blessed. Good morning, Michelle. We are blessed. Yes, yes, yes. Good morning, Sade. Good morning. Good morning, Miss Lois. Good morning, Deltra. Good morning, Miss Linda. Good morning, Miss Betty Rose. Good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing this amazing morning besides being blessed? Let me know in the chat. Good morning, Yolanda. Good morning. So we've gotten our first glimpse of what spring's going to look like. But it's not really because we're supposed to have snow this weekend. So it's crazy. The sun is shining, it looks really good. The birds are outside chirping. You could see things are starting to try to pop and things like that. So it's a lot happening, and it is representative of what's going on in our lives, period, right? So it may be seasons are changing in your personal life, seasons are changing in your business life, things are changing in your physical and your spiritual life. Things are moving and shaking in your life right now, right? And you feel the shift. I don't know. I don't know about you. Okay. I don't know about you, but I am for sure feeling a shift. There is a shift, is a rebirth. There is a renewed energy. There's just something about what's going on in this moment in time that everything is moving. And some things I don't understand, but some things I'm just, all things I'm trusting the process on all of it. But there's some things that are shifting that, you know, that's rocking the foundation a little bit, but it's okay. It's okay because I know this is the season. This is the season. Everything is moving and shaking. So good morning, Candace. Good morning. I am determined. Absolutely. Yes, you are. Yes, yes, and yes. It's sunny. Good. Because it could be raining, right? So I'm going to rejoice in my little sunshine we got going on over here. Good morning, Denicia. Good morning, LaShawn. Good morning, good morning, good morning. So I want to know right now, do you guys feel like we already know, like the seasons is going to change? That's without a doubt, right? It's going to happen regardless, right? No matter how dark the winter was, no matter how cold the winter was, spring is still going to happen. Did I say summer? Because I meant to say spring. Spring's still going to come, right? Because that's the seasons. It's the way of the world, right? How many of you guys in your life right now feel that there's a shift going on in your life? Put ones in the chat. Put ones in the chat, right? Because things, and it may just seem, I don't want to say wrong, hard, or bad, but it's different. And it's moving things, and it's making room for better things. It is making room for your growth. It is making room for your success. It is making room for your relationships. It is making room for your opportunities. So spring is coming and it's popping and things are just shifting. And I don't want you to just think about spring as, seasonally. I want you to think about the seasons changing in yourself, internally, spiritually, mentally. I want you to also think about the seasons that are changing within you right now. Things should be shaking up in you right now because information that you've been provided, experiences that you've been having, your mindset should all be shifting right now. Like you are making the decision that I am changing from this moment on. I am changing what's going to happen for me. I am in control of my life. So since I'm in control of my life, I'm going to make sure I make different decisions so that I can have a better life for myself, so I can hit these goals, I can reach these things. So it looks like everybody put ones in the chat. It is definitely a shift, especially if you've experienced, well, I know, like, full moon charging stones and things like that. I don't really do any what do you call it, rituals or anything for full moons, right? I know some people, with full moons, they're meditating or they're praying or they're writing things and they're doing all these things. I don't really do anything. I don't have any rituals for the full moon, right? And so, but with this full moon, I was like, energy is shifting, and I was like, it feels weird, but I'm okay with weird, right? But it's different, right? And so I was like, let me look it up and see. If you remember last week, we were talking about pruning. We were talking about you have to prune leaves in order for you to flourish and grow and to bear fruit, right? And so the new moon was all about things have, what I read about shedding and things like that. And so I feel like I'm shedding and I'm coming into myself. It took a long time. I've been in business for 13 years. I've been alive for, I'm not going to tell you, but things have, you'll know when it's time for you to start growing, and when something major in your life is about to happen, because you do feel it internally. And I feel it, and I know that you guys are feeling the same thing too, because if you've been joining us for Coffee with Nikki, you have no choice but to be changed, to be evolving into the woman that you want to become. You have no choice but to evolve into the business owner that you say that you want to be, right? So we have no choice. The season is changing. And so this season right now is a season of hope. This is a season of planning, and this is a season of preparing. So we are going to get it together. So when summer comes around, we have harvest, right? So let me see what you guys are saying in the chat. And you know how I feel about the garden. It's almost time to start. I didn't even start my seeds. My friend just got on me. She was like, "Did you start your seeds yet?" I'm like, "Mm-mm." She's like, "Girl, spring's in 2 weeks." I am feeling so high. My soul sis Callan nice, had a film premiere yesterday. Black women arrested. Oh my gosh, Sade. Small world, small world, small world, small world. Okay, so do you know Peachy? Because I seen it all over her stories and everything. Black women arresting. Yes, I remembered the name, and yes, 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 yes. And they were talking about her retreat. Small world. All right. Good morning, Shanika. Good morning. Good morning, Tiffany. Very true. Yes, Mama Peachy. Yes. Let me tell you something. She is like, I absolutely love her. She's like my spiritual mother. I love her. When I tell you, you need to have people that really feed into you and really believe in you and really will pick you up when you are down and carry you when you can't walk. That is one of the people. That is one of the people. She will never let me say anything bad about myself. Never let me say anything negative about a situation that is going on that she knows. She pours so much into me, and just her, the love that she pours into me. I'm like, she again lifts you up when you are in your moments, or she'll just send me a message when I'm in a moment. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? I needed this right now. And I got a few of those people. And Miss Peachy is one of them. Miss Peachy is for sure one of them. Oh, okay, Sade, let's get it. Let's go. Okay. All right. So, very true. I'm learning a lot and growing. Right. Everybody in this room should say, you know what? I'm I I'm not where I was. I may not be where I want to be, but I'm closer to being where I want to be than where I was, right? I'm moving out of that space because it is time for me to start moving. It's time for me to start growing, and time for me to start evolving, right? Spring is known as opportunity, right? Spring is for hope. Spring is for awakening, right? I'm awakened, right? I am awakening. I'm evolving. My eyes are starting to open up. Spring, things are starting to pop outside, right? Things are starting to flourish. The flowers are going to start to bloom, right? Their eyes are opening so that you could see their beauty. Ooh, right? Their eyes are opening so that you can see their beauty. And that is the same thing with us. Let me tell you. Okay, so I want to talk about the season, but I also want to talk about I had not a problem, but I was thinking, I was like, what do I want to talk about? Because sometimes I feel like I gotta let a topic come to me, and sometimes I'm like, I don't know, because a lot of the times I feel like I'm being repetitive, but I know that other people are, maybe joining in, and then I do know if I say something, it may resonate at a different moment, and it may be something that somebody needs. It may be something that I need, right? And so I sometimes I do feel like I'm being repetitive, but I was like, today, I was like, Lord, lead me to where you want me to go. Like, what is the direction, right? What is the direction, excuse me, that I'm taking everybody on? What's the direction that I'm going on? What is the word? Why am I burping so much? I don't even have anything to drink. What is the word for today? What's the word for today? So when I opened up my Bible app, good morning, Kay. Good morning, good morning, good morning. When I opened up my Bible app, it was about Luke 16, Luke chapter 16, verse 10, right? And so it's a basically about, if God trusts you, God could trust you with a little, he'll trust you with a lot, basically, right? So you got to make sure that the little that you have, that you are faithful to it, that you work it, because if you could work and you could be trusted with that little, you could be trusted with great, right? And so I took that to say, we are all wanting huge success. We are all wanting huge goals, right? But it's going to be the little tiny details that we need to pay attention to that is going to help us get the larger things, right? Because they say, the details, all the information is there, right? Or everything that you need is there. And so, since everything is in the details, that means we need to focus on those little things so that when the big things come, we could be appreciative of it, right? We had, I know I heard Michelle Obama, she was saying, everybody rewards the big, right? But in order to have gotten to the big, you had to you had to do the small things, right? And so we need to make sure that we are taking care of the small things in order for us to get to the larger things. And so we need to pay attention to the details of our business. We need to make sure we pay attention to the details of our health, of our wellness, of our mental state, of our spirituality, of everything. We need to pay attention to these small details, because then we'll be blessed with greater things, right? We could be blessed with abundance if we could appreciate what we have now. Yeah, your bank account isn't in six figures right now. You might be on a negative right now, but just rejoice in the moment that I'm right here, but there's a blessing right now. When the money do come in, I'm going to take a little, I'm going to put it here, and I'm going to take the rest and I'm going to put it here, and I'm going to have, you know what I'm saying? Like, we got to start thinking that we need to start rewarding the small things, because the small things are going to be the things that turn into the larger things that's going to build this great character. And so my whole thing this morning, the word that came to me this morning was about building character, right? Because your character is going to be with you all the time. Your reputation is what other people think you are, but your character is what you actually are, who you actually are. And if you can't deal with you, then there's a problem, right? If what the perception of what the what everybody else is thinking about what you are, that's not going to help you. That's not going to help you build strong relationships. That's not going to help you be trustworthy, right? Because what you think about me doesn't even matter, right? It's what I have within me, right? It's what I believe about myself. And I have to start building these things. And these things are built through experiences. These things are built in the quiet. These things are built when nobody is looking. Yes, everybody sees the success. Everybody got their highlight reel on social media. Everybody sees all this amazing stuff, right? But the real work comes in the quiet. The real work comes in the off season, right? That is when we are actually developing our character. We are developing what the character, the qualities and the characteristics that we want to have in ourselves, right? It's about our values. It's about the discipline. It's about the things that we do, the little things that we do to build up to the big things, right? Those are the things that count. And so when you are in your quiet, after let's say the world is going crazy, right? You are going to be in your solitude and you are going to say, I need to be working on what, right? I need to be working on myself, because if I'm not working on myself, then what am I doing? Right? I need to look internally, right? Because I need to fix these things. You have a breakup, you don't get fixed with everybody else. It's a mind thing, right? You have to say, I am about to get over this. I'm not going to allow this to affect my life. You got to make a conscious decision to not allow that to affect you. You got to make a conscious decision to not let your failure stick on you. You have to make a conscious decision that I'm going to be better and do better every single day. You got to make that conscious decision, and that is going to be the thing that is going to be building the character, because you have to make the decision that I am going to work on me. I am going to make this better because I have values, I have morals, and you're not going to let that be compromised based on other things, right? Because then if you allow anything to compromise your integrity, then what kind of person are you really? Are you really a loyal person? Are you really a trustworthy person? Are you really, like, what are you really if anything can compromise that, right? We see that happening in the world so much, right? People say, oh, I sold my soul for this contract. Oh, I did this for that. You know what I'm saying? And people have limits on what they have limits on their integrity, right? And don't be that type of person. Be the type of person that, I'm trustworthy because this is what I believe. And not only because I believe it, but I live it. I live it. I walk it like I talk it, right? And so be that person. And so today, that was my message. My message was all about building your character and the importance of character. So, how does everybody feel this morning? How does everybody feel? I know I asked you guys if you feel that things are changing and things are shifting in your life. How are you witnessing that in your life right now? How are you witnessing that right now? I'm witnessing it through growth. I'm witnessing it through things being tested. I'm witnessing it through opportunities that are coming and things are changing, right? Opportunities and coming. I think I'm the same, but other people seem like they're different to me. And it could be different to me because things are changing. Spring is springing. Spring is springing, right? And things are shifting and things got to move because things can't stay the same. It's not going to be winter forever. It's not going to be night forever. It's got to change. Things have got to pop, right? Things have to cycle out, right? There's some flowers that I have in my garden that are only going to come and only going to last for about 2 weeks or so, right? They're going to grow, they're going to thrive, they're going to be amazing, but they don't last forever. They don't last the entire season. They do die, right? They have to go through, they only here for 2 weeks. They're only here for 2 weeks, right? And things are going to change. And that's the same thing with your seasons, right? That things are going to change. It's the thing with anything in your life, things are going to change. And you have to be thankful in that moment that, oh my gosh, those flowers are beautiful and I can enjoy them for 2 weeks or a month or however long they last, right? But I do know that I only have that time to see that amazing beauty, and then they're going to go, right? Same thing. You gotta know some things are not going to be forever. And I don't know anything in nature that is going to be forever besides like the tree's going to stand, the dirt's going to be there. But the things that happen on the outside of that foundation is going to be the change. That's going to be the shift, right? So we know in the fall and the winter, there's not going to be leaves on the trees, right? But the tree is still going to be there, but the life doesn't have, well, it's still living, but the trees don't, I mean, the leaves don't pop until spring, right? And then summer, you got spring, summer, you got them fall, the leaves are changing and they're beautiful when they're changing still. So there's still beauty in a lesson, right? They're going to wither off and they're going to fall off and they're going to die. And they're going to be on the ground. They're going to go wherever they go. And if you're like me and if you garden, the leaves fall into your garden, guess what? Let's say, they're going to fall. Things are going to fall off. Relationships are going to fall by the wayside. Your mindset is going to shift. You're going to start doing things differently. You may have had some things that came with you, but those things are starting to fall off because now you're acknowledging these things, and you're acknowledging that this is not going to last forever. This seasons are going to change. And so with those leaves dropping into my dirt, guess what? All my trauma, all my bad breaks, all my negative thoughts, all of that stuff right in the dirt. And guess what that's going to be? That's going to help feed my soil so I could produce more fruit, right? That's going to help feed my soil so that I can produce more fruit. And so that's the beauty of seasons. That's the beauty of nature, because anything that comes into your life is not going to stay. The only thing that is certain, that, like I said before, the only thing that is certain is God's promise, right? Everything else is seasonable. Everything else it may be here for a reason or a season. That's what they say, right? A lesson or a blessing. So if that's the case, when things start to change and they start to shift, I could still use that. I could still use my scraps, or I could still use nature to grow and nurture my seeds, right? I could feed my soil. My soil is going to be fed based on life, based on my scraps, based on all of that. I could take my kitchen scraps and throw it into my garden, bury it deep because we don't need animals in there, bury it deep, and I am going to be feeding the earthworms in there so that they could do what they got to do in there to make my dirt amazing, right? I could be, it is going to also be organic matter so that the soil can thrive, right? So that when I do put my seed in there, my seeds are going to flourish. I was so nervous. I'm not even nervous, but I wanted to move my garden. I have the garden in the front, and I wanted to move my garden to the side of my house. And I said, oh, I can't move it to the side of the house because my dirt, all the work that I've put into my dirt is over there. I don't want to dig it out and bring it over to the side. I want it to stay over, where it's at. And I'm like, but I've done so much in this dirt that it's going to be great there. I get brand new dirt. I got to rework that dirt, right? I got to rework it and make things work for this dirt. I got to start putting scraps in there. I got to start making sure I know that the soil is good when I have some earthworms down there. I know, I used to be scared of the worms, right? But I know if I have earthworms or worms in my soil, I have good soil. Right? So sometimes there are going to be things in your soil that is going to freak you out. The worms freaked me out. Mushrooms freak me out. There's going to be things in your soil that's going to freak you out, but it's for the good. You know what I'm saying? You're going to see some things in your life that's going to shake some things up, but it's definitely going to be for your good. You're going to be startled by some things, but guess what? It's going to be beneficial for you. Do I like to see the worms? Absolutely not. Sometimes I'm digging in and I think I'm going to hit a worm or something, because usually I do. But but when I know that they're there, I'm like, I can rest assured that this is good dirt, right? I can rest assured that I know that the work that I put into that, the little tiny things that I put into my soil, is going to benefit me greatly when it comes time to harvest. I know that all the work that I put into my garden is now going to show up in the spring when the new season comes. I'm not going to see it in the winter when everything is quiet and dark. I'm going to see it in the spring, because spring is about to be new opportunities for my plants to grow, new opportunities for me to plant seeds, new opportunities for life, right? Because again, the birds are chirping, they think you start seeing things and hearing things, and everything is out. You hear the animals, you hear the insects, you hear everything. I don't know how I got blurry. Okay, there we go. And so you see everything is starting to emerge. You start to see the animals start to move around, right? You don't see the deer in the winter. but they're about to start moving around. You don't see the bunnies in the winter, but they're about to start hopping around. You don't hear the birds, but now you hear them chirping. You know what I'm saying? It's time. And all the work that I've done in this dirt, the birds are coming, they feeding out of my dirt because it's good dirt, right? The birds are coming, they're eating it, they're eating the worms. And when I'm ready to plant, I know that I have good soil. I know that my soil was good because I had a huge harvest last year. Last year, I had things grow in my garden that didn't grow before. And so I know that my dirt is good, right? And the things that were in there that shake me up a little bit was still able to help me. Right. So yes, yes, and yes. Amen. Only his promises. That's right, Michelle. That's right. Mindset shifts, growing closer with chosen fam. Yes. New opportunities and flowing creatively. Yes, yes, yes. Good morning, Jovi. Good morning. Yes, 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 yes. All right. So that's I wrote that down and I came up with that part real late because I was like, oh my gosh, I really want to talk about spring because if it was rainy, I probably wouldn't have had that idea. But I was like, spring, got it. Spring, I got it. Good morning, Yazzie Faye. Good morning, good morning, good morning. So I wrote down my notes because you guys know I got my notes here, so let me just look at my notes. And so, like I said, the scripture was Luke 16:10. The man that can be trusted in little things can be trusted with great. The man that is dishonest with little things will be dishonest with great. So trust what you have and work that thing so that you can have more of that thing, right? Except if it's, things that are not going to serve you, let those things go. Do not serve those things. Good morning, Janae. Good morning, good morning, good morning. And I also wrote this quote. I said, people are interested by talent. Everybody is impressed with shiny things. Everybody is impressed with people's word. Everybody is impressed with, just an illusion, right? But God is not concerned about the illusion of what everybody else thinks about you. God is not concerned about that. God is concerned with your character. Why is God concerned with your character? Because your character is who you are. When everything is stripped away from you, and God could take that from you at any moment, when everything is stripped away from you, all you have is you. All you have is your character. So making sure that you are building a strong character, that you are a person of your word, that is going to be the most important thing. That is going to be one of the key components of being successful, right? That is going to be one of the key components of being successful. You need to make sure that you are concerned about your character and not what everybody else is thinking about you, right? Not what everybody else is thinking about you. Let me see. And I wanted to also come back and say that I know I reference the Bible a lot. And somebody was like, oh, well, yeah, I told you guys, your message was real good, but you talk about the Bible a lot, right? I speak about the Bible because there are principles in the Bible that applies to every single day, right? There's principles in the Bible that applies to every single day, right? The building of your character. That's going to be important for yourself and for your business, right? It's all about what's there. Worrying about your gifts, right? Growing your gifts, working your gifts. That is important. It's important because if you don't work, it is going to be taken away, right? You've been blessed with something. And so it is your duty, it is your obligation to share whatever it is that you've been gifted with the world. And by you not sharing those things with the world is not benefiting from what you have. Right? You're doing the world a disservice because you are supposed to be sharing what that is with the world. That's why you have it. Good morning, Tracy. Good morning, good morning, good morning. That is why you have it. That is why God has he put it in you. He put it on the inside of you so that you could pull it out. right? When the time comes, it is time for you to pull it out, and it's time for you to share it with the world. A lot of you guys have this gift and you hiding it on the inside. Nobody knows what you have. A lot of you guys are scared about talking about your business. You don't want to talk too much about your business. You don't want to seem like you braggy. You don't want to seem like you know what I'm saying? Like, but if you don't speak about it, then how could God's glory shine through you if you are not showing what God gave to you and showing your light to others? How are they supposed to see God's glory through you? How could they see that? It's something that you have to, if you have it, you have to share it. Stop being scared to talk about your business. If you want to talk about your business. Matter of fact, talk about your business everywhere. Why? It's a tax write-off. Talk about your business everywhere, right? And just make sure that you are showing up. You got to show up for yourself, right? You got to show up for yourself. And if you have things that need work, you have to work on some things. That is okay. Work on those things that need to be sharpened. Work on those things that you need to fix. Work on those things that are broken. Work on those things that needs a little help, needs a little tweaking. Work on those things. That's totally fine. But as long as you still do the work, you're still going to be successful. As long as you still talk about what you have and what you want to do, you are still going to be successful as long as you put in the work. The work has to be put in. There's no way around it. You have to put in the work. You don't know something, learn it. You don't have it, fix it, find it, do something, right? But there is no reason for you not to have the things that you need. Because again, I say God gave us everything that we need. We may have to do some pulling. We may have to scrape some stuff off. We may have to dust it off. We may have to go into the attic to find it. We may have to go into the basement to find it. No matter where we have to go to find it, we know that we have every single thing that we need. You ever have something and you're like, I know I had this. I know, and you know, you ain't used it for a long time. You didn't use it for a long time and you're like, I know I have this somewhere. I know I use it because I've used it and blah, 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 blah. I know I have it. And so you go searching and searching and searching to find it. And then you finally find it. And it's in the back of the attic somewhere. It's under boxes. It's under cobwebs, all that stuff. And you have to dust it off. And you like, there, I found it. You know what I'm saying? And it's a new thing, right? It's a new thing. I knew I had this. That's the same thing about what's on the inside of you. That's the same thing about what's your talents and everything else. It's in you. You just may have to find it. You may, oh, I don't know what my purpose is. A lot of people, I don't know what my purpose is. I don't even know what I'm supposed to be doing. Why would people want my thing? Why would people want my product? Because they're waiting for the people who want your stuff are waiting for you to show up, and you're not showing up. Find what you need so you could dust that thing off, and then you can show up in the world and show the world your thing, right? Say show up in the chat. Show up in the chat. Ouch, that's me. Don't really talk about my business. How people supposed to know? How are you supposed to make sales? If nobody knows what you're doing, how are people supposed to make sales? If you're not telling people to spread the word, how would they know to spread the word? Right? How would people know? Right? You have to show up. Everybody put show up in the chat. Show up in the chat. Show up in the chat. And I wrote down small things in life can lead to greater opportunities. It's the little details that are vital, because the little things make big things happen, right? We've been talking about this for months with Atomic Habits, right? 1%, just that 1% is going to make a difference in your life. It's going to make a difference in how you show up. It's going to make a difference in your business. Imagine you do just 1% each day about learning something, right? Tiffany, I know I'm gonna go with Tiffany because I just seen her. Tiffany was learning about product photography. She didn't learn it overnight. It took some trial and error. It took a little something. It took a little work, but she figured it out and she got it, right? Miss Lois is doing her concrete container, her concrete vessels, right? The first one, she was like, oh, there's a little bit of this, but now she's doing them. Now she's feeling a little bit more comfortable. Now she's confident about what she's doing. And now she's able to, it's a learning curve. You got to learn these things. We making candles. Candles come with a huge learning curve, right? When you're making candles, you got to really really want it, first of all, because it is a lot of trial and error. It is a lot of testing your patience. It's a lot of testing. It's a lot that come with making candles, and you got to be willing to withstand, outlast the challenges so that you could produce the thing, right? Because you're going to be challenged. And so I got to be able to outlast all these challenges so that I could actually bring forth the finished product that is going to be amazing, that I could sell. Right? So I have to be able to outwork these challenges. I got to be able to say, I got to find the right wick. I got to find the right vessel. I got to find the right wax. I got to find the right labels. You know what I'm saying? Like, you've got to outwork all that stuff so that you can actually have the beautiful finished product. Right? Yes, yes, and yes. Everybody, yes, show up. My 3-year-old daycare teacher asked me this morning, what do I lotion your deer with? Oh, what do I lotion your deer with? So I told her and gave her a sample. Yes. How'd she know your daughter's skin is smooth? But yes, 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 and yes. Put show up in the chat. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's the details in the planning, and it's the details in the doing. It's the details in the learning. It's the details in the growing. All of that is going to pay off in the end. What you don't know now is okay, because you're going to keep on focusing on it so that you can know it later, right? When the season change, when spring, after the preparation, and it's time for you to start seeing the growth and everything, you will see it in the summer, right? But you put the work in, you planned and you prepared. The details are in those small things. The details is on how I plant my seeds. The details, my seed is determined. What I want to say, my seed, if I put too many seeds in one little cell and overcrowd them, that's going to stifle their growth, right? That's going to stop them from growing as big as they can. They're only going to be as big as as big as they can grow. They're all cluttered in this one cell, so they're not going to grow. Some will fight to emerge, but you got to work to detangle all of that stuff, right? You have to work in order to get that loose so that you can now separate them and put them in their perspectives, right? So if I need to have 3 inches apart, I got to make sure that, okay, when I separate it, I got to make sure that they're 3 inches apart, because I know if I put them right on top of each other, they're just going to get entangled again, and then they're not going to grow. And I have to make sure that I give them room to grow so that they can flourish and that they can thrive and I can bear fruit. And that's the way you have to think about it. You have to think about it that way, right? So it's the details in what needs to be done. It's the details on how you do things, right? Because there's a way that you're going to grow. There's a way that you're going to thrive. And so we need to focus on the details, because those little tiny things become big things, right? It's a little tiny thing right now. If I put the seeds in the dirt right now, I don't see that as a problem right now, right? Because I can't see what's going on under the dirt. But I do know if I don't see anything pop up in 3 weeks, then something is wrong, right? If I don't see something happen in a month, then something may be wrong. If I don't see something, if I do see a little something and then it's just popping up, I see a little something and I'm like, okay, but why is it growing so slow? I put 5 seeds in there and only see one little bud. So what's going on? You dig up in there and you see everything is all intertwined with each other, right? You gotta focus on the detail and you gotta do what you gotta do, because there's a way, right? And so whatever it is that you need, you're going to have to learn. There's a way for you to grow to be spiritually healthy, right? And so you got to do the things, right? If that means I'm going to take an hour to read my Bible, if that means I'm going to get 10 minutes to pray, if that means whatever that means, I got to, these small little things are going to help me grow larger later, right? For my business, there's small little things that I need to be doing every day. If I keep on letting time management slip by and I keep on overlooking time management, I'm going to become overwhelmed with all of the tasks and the projects that need to get done because I didn't do them in a timely manner. I didn't take advantage of the time that I had, and now everything is being done all together and I am stuck because now I'm overwhelmed because I don't have enough time and I'm trying to get everything right and I can't even think right because I can't, it's too much going on. It's too much clutter in there. It's too much clutter and I can't think. And so all the little things that you need to do, you got to make sure that you do them, because that's the only way that you're going to be able to see the greater, right? That's the only way. Whenever she washes her hands, the water. Oh, yes. That's right. Send that. Make some teacher gifts, Michelle. Make teachers gifts, so she will be your advocate, and she'll be telling it to all the teachers in there. Yep. Candles are a beast. Yes, candles are a beast, because it's so much work. You got to really want to do it. You got to really want to do it. One of the quotes that I want to share is from Jeff Bezos, right? And he says, if you don't understand the details of your business, you're going to fail. Remember, I was talking about, hiring somebody to do something is great, but you also want to know how to operate it, just in case you don't. Let's say this person leaves. Let's say this person doesn't do the work. You got to know what's going on before you even hire somebody. You got to know how to keep your books, or if you hire an accountant or a bookkeeper, they may be skimming money from you, right? And you will never know, because you've never done your books before, so you don't even know what to look for, right? You want to train people to work for you, and so you got to make sure that you take the time out for them to learn the way you want them to create the product, because when you're not around, they got to create that product the way you want it to look, right? They got to create that product the way you want it to look. It's got to be the same. It's got to be consistent, even though you're not doing it, but they got to consistently do it the way that you set out for them to, for them to do it. So if you don't pay attention to these small things, then you can guarantee that you are going to be destroyed. And if you're not going to be destroyed, you're going to be devoured by other people who are going to take advantage of what you don't know. Yes, you're going to be devoured by people who are going to take advantage of you not understanding and not knowing the details of your business. So you have to make sure that you're paying attention to the details. Pay attention to the details. My friend's dog is barking. Can y'all hear that? That's the biggest mistake I made. I need to quiet my mind down sometimes. Take what you need in order to quiet down your mind, so that you can write some things out, plan some things out, right? I hire people, and now I have to learn everything now, because I don't have the money now. See, yes. I have to learn social media and marketing. And everything is going to be ever changing. There's some things that are practical. There's some things that are going to be, consistent, but ultimately things are going to change. The way things are done is changing, right? The algorithm, we see that all the time. People like the algorithm changes. Sometimes you should post reels, sometimes you should post pictures, sometimes you should use hashtags, sometimes you shouldn't use hashtags, sometimes you should use keywords, sometimes you should do remixes, sometimes you shouldn't do remixes, sometimes you should do, like, it changes so much that you really don't know what to do. And it's like, well, you're going to always have to switch and change a little bit with that thing, right? You're always going to have to switch up a little bit. I think my friend's dog got out. She better get back in the house. She better get back in the house. And let me see what else I have in my notes. Your tiny disciplines. That's major. Your tiny disciplines. You gotta. Why am I so tongue-tied? Your tiny disciplines are going to help you to create the habits that you need. The tiny disciplines. If you know budgeting is your struggle, then that's the thing that you need to be doing, right? Product photography, if that's your struggle, then maybe you need to take a class, right? Your labels, if you can't figure out how to do your labels, then maybe you need to hire out somebody who can create the label that you need, right? But things are going to take a little learning, a little tweaking, and that is okay. That is okay. I'm learning how to use Facebook. Let me tell you, I'm learning how to use Pinterest, and I'm really trying. I stay posting, but I have to make a conscious decision that I'm going to take a class. I did see somebody saying how to grow your Pinterest, but if anything, you guys, we have businesses that people are looking for stuff on Pinterest. They are looking for They're looking for solutions, right? They're looking for your product. They're looking for your recipes. They're looking for how to do something. They're going to Pinterest for answers, right? Put your stuff up there because somebody is looking for it. So if you don't have a Pinterest account, I would suggest getting a Pinterest account because people are looking for you there. People are looking for you there, and then you can send them back. You can funnel them into your website, right? Yes, yes, and yes. You can funnel them into your website. So what little details do you need to start focusing in on? What little details in your life, in your spirit, in your business, what little things that you need to focus on? What little details? I've learned how to use my Cricut. I love it. And I was telling you, I was like, the Cricut is not my blessing. And I think I have a learning curve, not a learning curve, but I think I'm biased because I learned how to use the Silhouette. So I like the Cameo. But and then when Nikkie was teaching how to do the Cricut, I was like, that looks difficult. That looks difficult. I don't know if I want to do that. So I stuck with the Silhouette. I have two of them. I had the 2 and I have the 3. So, and I absolutely love it. So what little details do you need to focus on? What little details? Right? And I also wrote, building character is a lifelong process. It involves making conscious choices to develop positive traits and values, right? The reason why we show up on social media and we show our face is because we are building relationships with our customers, right? They are beginning to know who we are, to understand what our values are, to understand what our mission is. They've to understand why we do the things that we do. This is why we show up. Right? This is why we do more than show a product on the internet. This is why we don't just sell on the internet. We sell, educate, and give value, show you how to do certain things. We're doing these things because it's not only about the selling of the thing, right? It's the character of yourself, it's the character of your business, and it has to be in alignment with the things that they believe, right? And so this is why it's important also for you to know who your people are and for you to be speaking to those people, because when you're speaking to your people, they will be in alignment with your message is and what your morals and your values are for your company, right? My morals and my value is not in alignment with Hobby Lobbies or Chick-fil-A's, right? It's not in alignment with those things, right? And I think it's because it's radical Christianity, right? Because I feel like what their thoughts are and their opinions is infringing on people's human rights, right? And so since that's the thing, I'm not in alignment with that. Am I going to support that? And so that's how your people are looking at you too, right? They have to be in alignment with what you want. If you have, some people have like Christian uh clothing, apparel, and things like that. A lot of the time people will rock it because that's something that they felt, but most of the times they're tried and true people, are people who are in alignment with what the messaging is, right? I'm in alignment with that because I am a Christian, because I do believe in these things. This is my moral code. This is what I believe, right? And so they're going to support that thing. Why are people going to support you? What is it about you that they're going to support? And that is why it is so important for you to show these things through your channels, through your social media, because you have the opportunity to do something like that. Everybody doesn't have that opportunity, right? Big companies don't have that opportunity. They try their best to try to make it relatable, but we have the pulse, right? We're able to say, you know what? My person is blah, 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 blah. I'm going to talk directly to that person and we're going to connect. We're going to be aligned. And this is going to be a person that I can have for a lifetime, right? This is going to be a person that I have for a lifetime because they believe in what they believe in. My thing is simple ingredients, simple skincare, right? They believe in that. And so they don't want complicated ingredients. They don't want things that they can't read on their ingredients list, right? They want simplicity. They don't want to do 50 million 50 million steps to clean their face, or 50 million steps to scrub their body, or whatever. They just want to get in, they want to get out, they want to get there, get the thing done, and have results, right? I'm gonna take you to I'm gonna take you to your destination in the quickest possible way, right? Because we're gonna do 1, 2, boom, you're done, right? And so what is it about you and your company that's going to resonate with your people? Again, that is the importance for you to show up. That is the people like, well, why should I be talking about my story? Nobody cares about my story, because there's power in your story. There's power in your story. Somebody needs to hear what you have going on. A lot of people in the room had products with deep meanings, and it's about healing, and some people have these things and you didn't even know about that. So how much are you missing out on because these people don't know what your messaging is about? How many people are missing out on you because they're not resonating with you and your character? And that is why it's important for you to show up. That is why it's so important for you to show up. Let me see. I'm excited to do other things. I was intimidated at first. Team Silhouette. I'm telling you, that's right, Denicia. Me too, but it's amazing. Check out Jennifer Maker on YouTube. She has all of them and knows the ins and outs. Oh, that's for the cricket. Yes, 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 yes. Learn new things. That's what it's about. That is what it's about. So what did you guys tell me what tiny things that you are going to be working on? What tiny things are you going to be working on? Because you have to show up. You have to show up. What tiny things? We're about to wrap this up, but what tiny things will you be working on for your spring? We are in spring is about preparation. Spring is about preparation, right? I'm about to prepare my garden. And before I prepare my garden, I got to do my little seeds. I got to get my seedlings to pop so I can put them in the garden. They got to start inside, then I can take them outside, right? But I'm preparing to put it in the ground. So I have to go get my dirt, because my friend was talking about me and my dirt. I got to go get my dirt so I can start planting my seedlings, and I got to start planting out my garden, because I can't do my garden like I did last year. I had an abundance of cucumbers, an abundance of tomatoes, an abundance of okra and things like that. I had an abundance of a lot of things. So now that I know how it can grow, now I got to plant it better, right? Because I had my cucumbers all over the place. Right? They were all over the place. I just started taking string and putting it from one stick to the other stick to the other stick, so that it can drape across the string, so it can grow along the line, as opposed to being, so closed in. And I had to make room for it. I had to make room. And so I am preparing my garden, because I know what can grow now, and I know what I am capable of. I'm expanding, and I got to make it, because I know that it's going to be abundant. I know what I'm about to put in my garden is about to thrive and be abundant. And guess what? I got to prepare for that. So we are preparing now for the abundant harvest that we are going to have. So what are you doing right now? What are the tiny things that you are going to be focusing on? I'm changing my theme on Shopify. Got you. I actually started my Shopify, so I will have everything connected to the Shopify. So that's a small thing for me, because I kept saying, I'm like, Shopify is not my blessing, but I'm on Shopify. For me, consistency. Oh, you have a cricket and have no clue? Shh, I can't help you. Crickets is not me. That's Nikkie for sure. Consistency. I'm changing the theme on my Shopify, creating content and getting ready for Mother's Day. All right. Adding my spring, summer fragrances. Nice. Social media and how to use these Shopify apps. Okay. Time management, learning to build our Shopify website, scheduling content more often to free up time to do other things. Absolutely. And you guys, you can go to Facebook and do the meta scheduling. You can schedule out your content on there. You can schedule out your content on Canva, later, Planoly. There's so many options for you to plan out your content. So I suggest that, find one that works with you, find one that you like to use, and start scheduling out your content. I actually will be putting up some information, because I have found some information on the best time times to post. So I will be putting that in the chat and in the private Facebook group. So when you're posting your content, try it and take notes. Remember, I said when you posting content, make sure that you're taking notes. Do you get a lot of engagement in the morning? Do you get a lot of engagement in the afternoon, or do you get a lot of engagement at night? But if you know that you're getting a lot of engagement on certain times of the day, then that's when you should be posting more often. You know what I'm saying? That's when you should be posting your content. And so I'll be putting that in the private Facebook group. So if you guys are not yet part of the private Facebook group, go on over and join the private Facebook group. We are on day 9 or 10. What day are we on the challenge? The challenge is going to be up at 10 a.m. in the Facebook group as well. I'm going to put my links, because I didn't put my links for the previous challenges in the group. I did my story time with an old throwback photo because it was funny. The kid took a bite of my soap because it smelled like bubblegum. And so that was kind of like a 2-in-1. That was a twofer. So in the Facebook group, I'm definitely going to put the times so that you can, take note and see if that works for you and make adjustments. And what else? I think that is it. If you guys are watching and you have not yet subscribed, make sure that you please hit the subscribe button. And if you got any value from today and you would like to share this information with your friend, please share the information with them. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you're catching the replay, and hit the notifications bell so you can be notified when we are going live. We go live Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. for Coffee with Nikki, your daily cup of information and inspiration. And tomorrow, you guys, what should we talk about tomorrow? Should we stay in the character building, or what should we talk about tomorrow? Do you need anything do you need anything for your business? Do you need anything for yourself that you would like for me to address? Pictures and finishing my website. Go Tracy. Go Tracy. Let me see. I learned this month that I have a problem focusing. I have a problem focusing too, because I'm like, I may have a little ADHD. I swear I do. So I make a list and cross it out now. I am 50 now, so I think it's an age thing. My daughter knocks things out fast. Yeah. And also, I also find that when I have a list, I find things to distract me, and I'll do it on purpose. I know that I'm doing it, and I feel like I can't stop myself, but I'm aware. I'm aware that I do it. We're on day 10. Thank you, Keisha. Thank you, Keisha. I'm scaling down my business. I'm preparing for pre-launching of the concrete candles. Find a class on what are the best practices for making content. Making content. I know Jasmine is about to do a product photography class. But making content, you are creating your content every single day. Every day you are creating content. I would do what I'm doing, Miss Lois. I would video what I'm doing, and I would say, just introducing what you're doing. You got the concrete vessels. Concrete vessels are coming. I hope you guys are excited about this, because this is something, it's my passion right now. I absolutely love them. I love them because, and this is me in the process of making them. It's therapeutic for me. I relax. I don't know. Like, come up with whatever it is that you feel and talk about it over your candles. Talk about it over making your stuff. This is going to help people. They're in on your process. They see what you're doing, and, they feel like they're a part of the glow up. They feel like they're a part of the glow up. I learned to join. Wait. I leaned to join. Oh, you learned. Okay. Okay. Got you. I learned to join Facebook groups, and I joined your group yesterday. Got you. I have ADHD as well. Yes, for sure. I know. It hasn't been diagnosed, but I know. I have to get people to follow me. I don't have a clue. All right. So let's, you know what, you guys, what I want you to do is I want you to take what you need. I know what you personally, what you're saying here in the chat. I want you to take it into the Facebook group, and I want you to post it in there, or send me a message in the Facebook group, because that way I could we can do classes and we can do lives that are more in the direction of the things that you need help with, as opposed to me, again, just, talking about anything. I talk about a lot about character. I talk about a lot of that because this is going to help you, because business is going to be a rocky road, right? It's going to test every single thing in you, just like motherhood. It's going to test your boundaries. It's going to test your patience. It's going to test every single thing that you thought you had, right? And business is going to do that. And so it's about the building of the character. It's about the mindset, because if you could do it, if you could, create it, you'll be able to maintain it. So this is what I feel is most important, because yeah, you can learn all the things, but if you learn all the things and you don't know what happens when things don't go your way, or when business start, the business start to shift. I've seen a lot of success stories from people who were thriving during the pandemic. They're struggling right now. They're struggling right now. Why? Because that was an opportunity, because everybody was home and now everybody's out in the street. Things are different. And so now you got to pivot, but you don't know how to pivot, because if you started your business in the pandemic and all you know was success, then you don't know what to do when you fail. Right? Because if this is all you know, when this happens, now it's like, oh, I don't know what to do, because all the things that I did work previously, I don't know what I need to do now, because they're not working anymore. Right? I've noticed that with a lot of people. I'm watching a lot of videos on YouTube, and people are saying the same thing, right? They don't know how to pivot because they've never experienced this part of business. And this is going to be where they build that character, right? This is where it's going to be, well, where am I going to pivot at, right? This is the pivotal moment for them, right? Because now I got to pivot. I got to change. These things no longer work for me. So if they sit in the things that no longer, if they sit in those things that, okay, this is what I did, this is what I did, this is what I did, but it's not working, and they keep trying the same thing and not trying anything else, they're going to continue to fail, right? So they're going to have to start pivoting. And with that is going to be change, and they got to learn. And so that's what I'm saying to you. That's why it's important for you to be able to have that strong foundation, because things are going to come that is going to rock you to the core. Right? And you got to be able to withstand it. You got to make sure that you are built on firm foundation. You build a firm foundation so that whenever storms come, that you are going to be able to withstand any storm. Right? So with that said, you guys, make sure that you go to the private Facebook group and send me a message and let me know what you guys need, and I will make sure, I'm telling you, I will make sure that I start building around the things that you need. I'm definitely going, I told you guys we're going to be doing an audit. So you guys are going to audit your business, audit yourselves, and we're going to see where you are in that assessment, so that you can start making the changes, so that your business can start moving and growing. Yes, yes, and yes. Yes, yes, and yes. TikTok, not the only one. All right. Got you. All right, everybody. Y'all have an amazing day. I'm gonna flood your stories, because that's what I do. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Make sure if you hit the thumbs up button, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs it up, thumbs it up. And don't forget to DM me and let me know what you need. Okay, DM me or send it in the Facebook group. Good morning, D. Put it in the Facebook group and let me know what you need. Okay. Okay, everybody. Okay, everybody. Everybody have an amazing day, And remember, focus on something small that's going to turn into something big, right? That little tiny blessing, work that little tiny blessing so God can bless you with abundance. Let's get it. Let's go. Let's get it. Let's go. Everybody have a good Thursday. I appreciate you guys spending your time with me. I hope that you got some value from today. I know that you could do anything with your time and it's valuable and you never get it back, but I hope it was worth your investment today. And I will see you guys in your stories, and I will see you guys in the morning. Have an amazing day, y'all. I don't know what I did over there.